Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be teaching you the basics of Skater XL. Now I'm just going to assume that you've already gone through the tutorial, but if you haven't, for any reason, here's what you need to know. To push, you use X. If you want to push Mongo, you use A. To brake, you hold down B. And then the left and right triggers are going to move you left and right. So that's how you're going to steer your character as you're skating. That's pretty much what the basics are. Now, real fast, if you want to place a marker somewhere, you're going to push down on the D-pad, and you'll get that marker just like it is right by my head right now, that little white blob. So if I go ahead and go right here, I can place one. There it is. Now, if I want to go back to it, I push up on the D-pad. If you want to get maybe a better angle or you weren't right where you wanted it, you can push Y, and then you can move around the entire map anywhere you want, even on roofs and stuff, and you can place the marker right where you want it. So I'm going to place mine right about here, push A, and now that is my spot. So real fast, let's talk about how to ollie. So for that, you're going to be using your back foot joystick. I say that because it's going to be different depending on if you skate goofy or regular. I skate goofy, so my right foot is forward. That's how I skate in real life. That's how I always do it in a video game as well. So for that, my left joystick, which has a little blue icon on it, is my left foot, which is blue right now. Now I am using the built-in controller overlay, and that's how you're seeing that. Just a quick note, nothing in my game is modded right now. This is completely stock, so it'll be the same on console as it is on PC. So to do an ollie, if you're moving, you're just going to hold down your foot or your back foot, so for me, the left joystick, and let go. That's a basic ollie. If you want to ollie and then put a little bit of like almost like a rocket, you can do both down. Both joysticks will go down while you're in the air. You can also do both joysticks forward, and you can kind of like steeze it out a little bit, which looks really cool. If you need to ollie higher or get higher pop, you can do both joysticks down and then let go. I think this is really easy to show right on this ledge. Now this ledge is one that you can ollie up, kind of hit things. You can ollie and put your front foot forward and you'll make it up. Or if I do both joysticks, I'm up no problem. So you definitely get a higher ollie. Now that you know how to ollie, let's do some flip tricks. So do a kick flip. That's where your front foot goes off the, behind you. So for me, it's to my right, and I'm gonna go ahead and ollie. And then right as I ollie, I'm gonna flick the right joystick to the right, and that is going to cause a kick flip. You can also kind of do it before and then let go. So if I do it and let go of my ollie, but I actually do the ollie, it will do it. It just feels a little weird. And I'm just kind of used to flicking it basically right as I let go. Now, if you want to do a heel flip, it's the opposite direction. So you're going to go to the left, and that'll do a heel flip. Now that you know how to ollie and you know how to kick flip, let's learn how to pop shove it. So for a shove it, you literally just get into ollie stance, roll your back foot down. That is going to do a backside shove it, so the board's going to flip towards you. And you can also do a frontside shove it by doing the opposite direction, and it's going to do it that way. Now, one thing that's kind of confusing is, well, how do you do a 360, right? A 360 shove it. You just hold it, and you won't catch it. The skater won't actually put his feet down until you let go of the joystick. So you can literally go in there, and you can spin it all you want. He'll just spin. He's not going to let go. But if you're spinning and let go of the joystick, he'll then catch it. With that, you now can do 360 flips, inward heel flips, hard flips, any kind of flip trick you can imagine. So let's do a hard flip. So a hard flip is where you do a frontside shove it. And while you're doing a frontside shove it, you're also doing a kick flip. We need to put those together. So we're going to scoop the board. We're doing a frontside shove it and flip it, a kick flip. Go. If you want to do more, you can hold the joysticks, like to get 360 hard flips and stuff. You can hold the joystick out and let it spin more. And so now let's say you want to do a 360 flip. Same thing, we know a 360 flip includes doing a 360 this way with a 360 backside shove it, as well as a kick flip. Now you're just going to put those two together. Just like that, you got a tray flip. That's the basics. Now, there's also going to be some spins. So if you want to do, for instance, a 180, you can ollie and then hold down either the right or the left trigger. And that is going to spin your body, because that's, remember, what you use to turn, also what you can use to turn your body in the air. So if you want to do, for instance, like a frontside flip, you can do that pretty easily just by holding down Ollie, doing a kickflip, and turning all at the same time. If you're doing a trick and you maybe want to catch the board like a real skater would, you can also push in the joysticks. You'll see that my front foot goes down and catches the board. So you can let it go ahead and do its kickflip, catch it with that front foot, and then land from there. You can also catch it with your back foot, and your back foot will go down. Again, that's just pushing in the joysticks to basically place your foot. You can also do reverts in the game, which is where you just slide your body like that. And the way that I do it is I put both joysticks in, which is going to turn me, right? Or both joysticks out, which will turn me the other opposite way. When you do that, whichever way you're going, if you're going in, you want to make it so that you continue. So for me, I'm going to spin to the left. And if I'm going out, spinning to the right. So that's, you can see right in there what my joysticks look like. That might be a little easier than me trying to explain it. Just seeing it in action. So if I'm going, and you can actually do more than a 180. You can do a 360. Just hold it down. We'll go the other way. Hold it down. Okay. You can also do that while landing. So if you're, in the air, catch it, only gone that far, you can actually revert back, or you can revert the opposite way and go out. So catch it, and then revert at the very end. It looks really cool, and you can kind of add some style to your tricks. So kickflip, catch it, and then now that you know how to do kickflips and ollies and spins, it's time to do some basic slides. So let's start with a board slide. So what you can do is when you're approaching the ledge, you can just turn your body using the triggers to just turn yourself and land how you want it. That is an option. I prefer to do it kind of like the revert, how when we did both, when we were going, we turned our body that way. It'll actually do that in the air for you. So I'm going to ollie up. I'm going to do both joysticks in. And what's nice about that is when you get to the end of the ramp or the rail, wherever you're on, and you let go, it'll pop you out of that trick. Now you can do the same thing, but do it both out, and you can do a backside board slide. So you got front side doing both in, backside doing both out, just like that. Now, if you're on a rail, for instance, and you go over the rail, now you're doing a lip slide. So it's a little bit different, but that's just a different variation for that trick. So keep that in mind that if you are trying to do something like a lip slide, you can do the same thing, and then when you let go of your joysticks, you'll pop right out of it. Now, if we're doing a tail slide, one of my favorite tricks is actually doing a kickflip into a tail slide. When you're doing that, you want to turn your body so that your back foot is above the ledge or the rail. Now, right there, you can see I did the slide. I didn't even touch my joysticks. I just ollied, turned my body, and landed on it. It's kind of boring looking to me. I like to make it look a little better, and that's by putting the right foot, or the back foot down. When you do that, you're putting your weight on your back foot, and it just looks clean. You can also change how your front foot is, which is going to change the angle of how your slide is. You get to a point where it almost looks like you're trying to do a blunt slide. You do it too far up, which is when both joysticks are down like this. It looks like you're really trying. It's just too tweaked for me. You can do it, or you just do the one joystick. And again, if you're doing it this way, as opposed to just turning your body, when you let go of down, it's going to pop you out of that tail slide. Get up to it, turn sideways, get the tail slide. Oh, that was not a tail slide. So get into it. Get into the grind. Get into the tail slide. And when you let go, it'll pop you out and just kind of rotate your body. All right, so now let's move on to nose slide. So for this, you're going to have to rotate your body in the air and land in the nose slide just like so. The easiest way to do it is just to kind of ollie, hold the trigger until you're right over where you want to be, and then let go. Now I like to get into it and hold my front foot at the time down. So for this, I'm actually pushing the joystick up. That is going to cause you to kind of lock in and be stuck in. That was a little bit too far down into the crux a little bit. There we go. And what's nice about that is when you let go of the joystick, it'll pop you out. You can just ollie and turn, but I like to push up. With that, you can actually tweak the way it looks in your back foot in this situation. If I'm up, if I move my joystick, you'll see that the board moves up and down. So you can kind of get the exact angle you want. Now we've got the basic slides down, let's talk about basic grinds. So if you want to get into, for instance, a 50-50, all you're going to do, ollie. That's it. You just ollie onto the ledge however you want. You're going to land on the rail with both trucks over it. Might have to use the left and the right triggers to kind of move your body so that it lands that way, but that's the easiest way to do it. Now to make it so you can pop out, you're going to land on it and do your joysticks in opposite directions. So your back foot goes down, your front foot goes down, which actually is the joystick going up. That way when you let go of your joysticks, like I just did, it'll automatically pop you off the rail. Get above it, both joysticks. And if you look down the left, you can see what I mean by both joysticks moving. One's down, one's up. When I let go, pop off. Now for a 5-0, it's kind of the same thing, except for you're just going to do one joystick. For that, I'm just doing my back foot down. That's going to keep me. When I let go, it's going to pop me off the ledge, or in this case, a rail. Okay, go. We're off. Now you can use the other joystick to kind of tweak how it looks. You can put them both down, which is going to make it where your tail is kind of sliding. Doesn't look quite as natural. It kind of looks like a sloppy 5-0, but it does work. And I prefer doing just the one. But the other one down, though, you will end up getting to a 50. For a nose grind, it's the same thing, but the opposite joystick. I'm holding one forward. You'll see I've got a little bit lifted up. I do it both joysticks forward. I actually kind of slide the nose of the board on the rail. So, kind of looks sloppy, I just think. A real one, you're supposed to balance it almost like a nose manual. And so by just doing the 1 foot forward, you get that perfect little balance, and then when you let go, it pops you. Now for other ones, like a Smith grind and stuff, you're going to have to get used to rotating your body. You have to ollie over it, turn your body, and push that front foot down, get into a Smith grind. So doing different types of grinds is kind of confusing at first, as you have to learn how to rotate your body. And then as you land, like for feeble, I have to put my front foot in front of me and down. So that's how your joystick is meant to turn. You can see that on the little overlay, how I'm doing each of those. That's how you get into Smith and feeble grinds. Really, it's just landing on it and then making sure your front foot goes in the proper direction. For something like a crooked grind, you're going to need to make sure that you land on the nose, but you have to kind of tweak out the back. So there's different ways you can do that. You can land and turn just that right foot or just that front foot in a little bit. Kind of land in a nose grind. You can kind of practice how you want it, but kind of turn it a little bit. You can barely move your joystick up and to the right, and that's going to cause it to go from a nose grind to more of a crooked. I like to do both feet opposite directions. So on the ground, this is what it's going to look like. Your joysticks will look something like this when you are in the grind. Okay? We're going to go in, get above it, joysticks like that. Look at the way it really like locks into place. You don't have to do it as extreme either. But you can kind of get into it however you want, whatever you're comfortable with. Maybe you don't want it all the way in. Maybe you want it more nose grind looking than crooked, or maybe you want it like super tweaked out. You can do that as well. Let's do a flip trick into a grind now. So for instance, one of my favorite tricks of all time is a kick flip to a crooked grind. So to do that, I'm going to do a kick flip. And then after I've done the kick flip, I'm going to catch it and then go into a crooked. Just like that. If you do it too fast, if you try to like flip and do all these things, it doesn't really work very well. And a lot of people will end up holding the trick weird, and it'll cause it to kind of just do this, or just flips and doesn't stop. So make sure you flip and then catch it into that grind. And we're gonna do the flip trick and then catch it. Now, if you want to do a flip trick out of a grind or out of a slide or anything like that, what you'll need to do is as soon as you let go of the joysticks, and it's going to pop you, right? So we know that if we do this, we know that if we land on the rail in a trick grind and let go, it pops. So now to do a flip trick out, we're going to do it just like we would on the ground. We're going to flick the joystick as we're coming out of the grind, and that'll let you do the like heel flip out or a kick flip out, depending on which trick you're doing. You can pretty much do any trick in and out, so get it and then flip it out. This game does have grabs in it as well. So for this, I'm going to go right up here so I get a little bit more air, and I'll show you. So when you ollie off, you can do a grab with the right bumper or the left bumper. It's going to be your right hand and your left hand. And it's going to be really whatever natural. So for this, it's going to try to do a melon grab behind me when I hold down the right bumper. If I hold down the left bumper, it should do like an indie grab and grab it right in the middle. Now it's doing that because my board is flat. So left and right would be left and right side of the board. If you were to tweak it a little bit and get like a nose grab by putting your right foot up, that's going to cause the board to go up a little bit, and then it's going to grab there. So for a tail grab, you do the same thing. Same thing, like so. Doing the jump, or the ollie, as soon as I'm in the air, I'm putting it so that my foot is up in the air, and I am grabbing it. And the grabs are all automatic. It's going to grab whatever's most natural in that situation. Nose, or if you're carrying the other one, hit tail. Let's say you finally landed a trick that you've been trying and you want to see what it looks like in the replay. Well, let's get a better one. Right, so let's do it. Bam. Perfect, right? I want to see that. To get in the replay, you push select on the Xbox squares. That is going to bring up the replay menu. Now, one thing is, it shows you all these controls on the right side, but it doesn't show you the most basic one, which is that A is to play it, and that left and right triggers actually let you go back by frames. So I'm going to go ahead and hide the interface by pushing in the right joystick. I'm going to rewind that trick. Now I can push A to play it, push A to pause it, and then left joystick will rewind, or sorry, left trigger will rewind, right trigger will go forward. Now that you have that, let's look at what they show you. So right now the movement mode is orbit. That means that you're orbiting around the person like this. And you can go in, out, and around. That's pretty much it. You can go up and down, it says, but it doesn't do anything because of the mode that you're in. So let's just look through it real fast. Left and right on the left joystick, up and down on the left joystick. You can rotate with the right joystick up and down, like so. You can change your field of view. You can do rolls and all that. That's kind of a little more advanced. Let's just do the very basic. Let's say you're going, you get right there and you find it. You just can't get the camera that you want. You can try different modes. So the movement mode that I normally use is free mode. Now it's kind of more like a first-person shooter where the right joystick looks around, the left joystick is movement like so, and you can really get the camera how you want it. Now you can use up and down on the D-pad to go up and down on the camera. Really, this is a much more user-friendly mode for me, as it just feels like every shooter game I've ever played. Now I can get in there, slow-mo, watch it, you know, lower down. Where do you want it? You want it right there, maybe? Now I can play it. Before that, you can even do all kinds of different filming. The replay mode is very powerful. If you go through it and learn it, you can add keyframes. You can literally edit a skate video. Well, guys, that is the end of my basic Skater XL tutorial. If there's something I missed or maybe some more advanced tricks you want to learn, leave me a comment and I'll make a video real fast on how to do those. The only thing I didn't really want to go over today is manuals. I feel like you really need to get all of your basics down before you even try a manual. But just to say, to get into it, you would hold your back foot slightly down or your front foot slightly forward and hold it. Basically, you're going to just, if this was your joystick, tilt it a little bit and that would lock you in. That's really it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, leave a comment if there's anything else that you want me to go over. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video.